Luka Doncic playing at the MVP level. LeBron James being that third usage player. It's been working out really, really well for the Lakers. We're seeing all these positive things. DeAndre Ayton buying into his role. And then we always have that eye tester as far as can the Lakers match up with the Oklahoma City Thunder? And just have a quick moment of silence because Luka Doncic MVP race probably, not probably, most likely went out the window. Tough out. That was a tough watch last night against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Really, really tough watch. We're gonna break all of that down. I know you guys in YouTube chat have a lot of criticism when it comes to this Lakers team, especially how they match up against a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, against a team like the San Antonio Spurs. But before we do any of that, we have to talk about my friends at Pechanga Resort Casino. You can play a perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, the official Native American resort and casino, the Los Angeles Lakers. Skip the traffic. Head on over to Pechanga Resort Casino just off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for reservations and for more information. Just going back with this Lakers team. They were down by 30 points. And I'm trying not to be disrespectful, and I'm trying not to laugh. But they were down by 30 points. Damn near in the first quarter. Sorry, I'm just looking through some stats because I got to make sure I have this right when it comes to this Lakers game last night against the Oklahoma City Thunder. 130 to 96 was that final score against the Oklahoma City Thunder for the Lakers. Whew. And a game where you're like, all right, let's see what Luka Doncic can do. And there's a reason why. We always talk about it. The two levels to it. There's a reason why the Lakers are in the middle tier when it comes to the Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs. That's why they're in the middle of the pack. That is why they are in the middle of the pack. That's why we consider them matching up with the Denver Nuggets, the Houston Rockets, the the Minnesota Timberwolves. We keep them in that pack, that mixture of those groups. There's a reason why the Oklahoma City Thunder is the best team in the NBA. You look at their players, you look at their roster. Not only their starting five can go out there and get buckets, their bench players are going out there and getting buckets. Isaiah Joe went 6 for 8 for 3. Isaiah Joe. No disrespect, but that just goes to show you. Isaiah Joe is what? Their 8th man off the bench? 7th, 8th man off the bench? Luka Doncic going out with that injury. That's one thing we have to start off with is how long is going to be that injury? How long are we going to be seeing Luka Doncic being out for with that injury? Because if Luka Doncic has to serve a lot of time out with that lineup, number one, there goes his NBA awards, right? There goes his chances of winning things as far as all NBA first team, maybe second team, and then him being an MVP race, which we can count out the window. If we're being honest with you. But we're not just looking at the season awards, right? We got to look at the rest of the stuff. We got to look at Luka Doncic as far as this Lakers team and how Luka Doncic gets the most out of this Lakers team. Is where the Lakers going to get the other scoring from if Luka Doncic is to be out of this lineup? And can we just be honest with you? Is that we get it. Luka Doncic has done a lot of great things for the Lakers. And I really, really hope that this injury is not long. But the way he went out, and then JJ Redick making those reports that Luka Doncic could have returned in that lineup last night. He could have returned in the second half. But you know what? We're not going to risk anybody, which I credit JJ Redick for that. Could he have taken Luka Doncic out a little earlier, knowing that the league got up to 30 for the Oklahoma City Thunder? Possibly so. We can make an argument about that, but that's not the real concern. The real concern is how there is a real gap between the Lakers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. One of their largest deficit of losses have came twice. The first one against Oklahoma City earlier this season, and then once again, when they come back to Oklahoma City, another blowout loss, and they had no response. Austin Reeves set the tone early. He did. He set the tone early with 3 turnovers. Austin Reeves, when he matches up with someone, and especially a team that's really, really physical, we had those same issues going into that Minnesota Timberwolves series last year. Physicality of Jalen Williams, the physicality of Luka Doncic. Hell, even the physicality of Shai Gilgeous. The Oklahoma City Thunder are a team that's real, real physical, and they get into the passing lanes. They pick you up as soon as you cross the half-court line. And some of those turnovers Austin Reeves has had as we are displaying this on the screen is really like there's nowhere to go with the basketball. Honestly, there was nowhere to go with the dribble penetration. There's nowhere to go when you're trying to throw up a lob and it's not in the right spot. But that's what happens when you get the ultimate ball pressure and teams force you to go into an area where you're not comfortable with. The Lakers can either run their offense. As soon as they cross the half-court line, what the Lakers did to the Houston Rockets, guess what the Oklahoma City did to the Lakers? As soon as they crossed the half-court line, blitz, pressure, can't handle the pressure, turnover, live ball turnovers. That led to what? Transition buckets. And I'm not trying to be so hard on this because we always go through that test. It's like, okay, this is a real good eye tester. I think it's just disappointing because the way they lost. The way they lost was really disappointing. And I really, really hope that this injury, once again, to Luka Doncic isn't real, real bad. Because remember, next week, that's the last week of the regular season. Next week will be the last week of the regular season for the Lakers. That's actually for the whole entire NBA. Now, good thing is Lakers get those 5 to 6 days off in between because of the play-in tournament, and the Lakers are not in the play-in tournament. But what's the other goal that we talk about? Secure that 3rd seed, right? If Luka Doncic is out, the guy that gets 40 points for you. 40 points in 1 month. And that's where majority of your scoring comes from. You are going to have to look at who else can step in. And guess what? They got the Oklahoma City Thunder once again next week on Tuesday in LA. Now, it's going to be without Luka Doncic. But it's just very, 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 very frustrating because they had a really, really good month. But that just goes to show you things can turn around real quick. And this team, they're a playoff team. This Lakers team is a playoff team. But that's why we said their ceiling is most likely the second round. Now, me personally, their ceiling is the second round, depending on who they match up with first in the first round, because the standings only get closer. They do. And I see you guys in the YouTube chat. Oklahoma City Thunder, they had a game plan, just like Brian said. They did have a game plan. We're going to be physical. We're going to get into the passing lanes. We're going to exploit the mismatch. And they had no response. Literally, let me read you guys this stat line. I just have to. Shai Gilgeous had 28, 12 of 25 shooting. Yeah, okay. But Lou Dort, 14. Jalen Williams, 10. Jay Williams, 10. Kendrick Williams, 7. Isaiah Joe, 20. Off of 6 of 8 from 3. And then Aaron Wiggins comes in 7. Kason Wallace comes in. He gets you 21 minutes, 8 points. All right, Jeremy McCain comes in. He gets you. I know it happened in scrub minutes, which is what we like to call. And then AJ Mitchell, plug in and play. Look how much guys off that bench for the Oklahoma City Thunder were able to plug in and play compared to the Lakers. Rui Hachimura, 4 points. Vanderbilt, 9, but it was in scrub minutes. Jackson Hayes, okay, 12 points. Luke Kennard was, okay. Look at the depth between the Lakers and a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder. And it's going to happen with the San Antonio Spurs as well. You're telling me that teams like this are not going to be looking at this and be able to try to game plan and do and try to replicate what the Oklahoma City Thunder did? And just to look at this record. And I know they had a good month of March. And I know they beat the Nuggets. I know they beat the T-Wolves. I know they beat the Houston Rockets twice. But this record right here, the Lakers being literally 1-10 against the top 4 teams in the NBA. OKC, they're 0-3. San Antonio Spurs, they're 1-3. The Detroit Pistons, they were 0-2, and the Pistons were without Kate Cunningham in one of the games. And then the Boston Celtics, they had lost twice. Both of those losses to the Boston Celtics were double-digit losses. That's why we have to see is that first round, we can see the Lakers potentially getting out of the first round. But second round, if they were to match up with the Thunder, if they were to match up with the San Antonio Spurs, that's the thing where we're like, can they actually do it? And right now, they haven't given us a reason into why we should believe that they can do it. And I get it that one win was early in the year, but still, just look at this. Oklahoma City Thunder had guys crashing the glass left and right. There was one possession where we literally saw Shai Gilgeous-Alexander get 3 offensive rebounds off of his Ole Miss layup. 3 offensive rebounds off of his Ole Miss layup. Bronny James came in, and I'm just going down the list. Bronny James came in, and I'm sorry, that brother couldn't even cross the half-court line without Kason Wallace picking his pocket. That is where the Lakers came into, and they had no energy. Now, could this be Marcus Smart not being in the lineup? Is Marcus Smart that guy where they truly, truly need to be out there to set the tone defensively? Possibly so. But a game where you're hoping to get the most out of your guys, and Austin Reeves only getting 9 shots up, and Austin Reeves having 4 turnovers, 3 of those were early turnovers. And there's a lot of concerns now going into that because, man, hopefully this is not the version of Austin Reeves that the Lakers get coming into the playoffs. Honestly, hopefully we don't get that. Effort was not there. Energy was at an all-time low, if we're being really, really honest. Right from the jump, the tone was set for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Lakers had no response. LeBron James driving to the basket. You see the frustration. He drives to the basket. He draws 2, meaning when he draws 2, that dribble penetration, you got Isaiah Hartenstein helping because Chet Holmgren was out LeBron James at that time. And then what happens? He gets a nice pass, splits it right in between them, and it ball literally goes off of DeAndre Ayton's hands, turnover. Live ball turnover. Oklahoma City Thunder capitalizes it on the other end of the basketball floor. Literally, we heard John Ireland on the broadcast waving the white flag in the first half. Literally on the broadcast saying, JJ should just pull it out, pull the starters out, let them rest, get them out. That is where the energy and the effort came into for the Lakers immediately. So we're going to dive in more to this. We got some more things that we're going to elaborate on. But before we do any of that, I have to let my partners at Pachanga give you guys a quick word.
At Pachanga Resort Casino, you can rock and roll, sip and slide, twist and shout. Play your perfect combination at Pachanga Resort Casino, official Indian gaming sponsor of the Lakers.
Whew, man. Lakers lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder last night, 139-96. And I see you guys in the YouTube chat. I see what you guys are saying. Is that you could tell Oklahoma City had 2 days to game plan. They saw the Lakers do a lot of lazy passes. Yeah, we saw Austin Reeves, just like you guys said in the YouTube chat. 3 turnovers where he literally, back-to-back was turning the ball over. Just like that, immediately, okay? Now we got concerns of you guys in the YouTube chat. Should the Lakers try to trade Austin Reeves? Is that really his value right now? What are they going to do with him? Austin Reeves, they're not going to pay him $15 to $30 million, $30 million a year, $35 million a year, $40 million, however you want to keep that number at. Because if he's going to put up performances like this against a team what are you trying to build towards? You're trying to build towards beating the Oklahoma City Thunder. There is a reason why they are defending champions. They are 61-16. But that's what I go back to, is that we were very, very grateful to see them have that 15-2 month of March. And I've been saying it over and over and over again every single time when I talk to you guys, is that hopefully they can carry this momentum into the playoffs. And what we saw last night, can we even believe that they can carry that momentum into the playoffs? But I get it. There's levels to it. There is. That might be very cliche of me to say, but there is levels to it between them, Oklahoma City. And you guys said it. 5 years that the Lakers are off OKC and the San Antonio Spurs. And if you want to put a really comparison between both of those teams, it's look at their starting five compared to the Lakers starting five. Okay. Look at their bench compared to the Lakers bench. Also, the Oklahoma City Thunder are young. They are a young team. So San Antonio Spurs are a young team. Their starting five is good, but also their bench production is really good as well. 139-96, the Lakers lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder last night. Just to read some more stuff from you guys in the YouTube chat. I see what you guys are saying. And with Johnny I in the broadcast, with MT being hopeful, I see Rachel in the YouTube chat. Yeah, it does suck because we were talking about it. Yeah, we can't wait to see it. We can't wait to see the Lakers finally play the Oklahoma City Thunder to see where they are at. And I guess we have a poll. And I want to bring my guy John earlier today on this show because John has some things he wants to say. I think he is ready to go. But if he's not, we'll kind of wait on that. But man, it's just hard to see it. And now it's just crazy because now one game, we're already having that conversation that Austin Reeves isn't a max contract player. And that might be some truth to it. That might be some truth to it. John, what's going on, man? How are we feeling today?
You know, I didn't want to come on the show with this type of energy today, with this type of feel, but it's a sad day to be a Laker fan, man. You get your hopes up. The city had a buzz to it coming into this game. I don't know, just something about it, to feel the energy. And for the Lakers to go out like this, man, to just get punched in the mouth, and then Luka go down, it was the perfect storm of everything that you wouldn't want to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's one of them reality check games, look yourself in the mirror type games. I've heard coaches say, when I was in high school, my coach would always say, you can learn a lot from yourself in a blowout loss,
For sure.
Actually a lot more than what you can learn from losing a close game. You lose a close game, it's like, oh my gosh, we just did one thing wrong. It's like, what happened? We went wrong. We were so close. You lose a close game, you feel as though you did everything correctly and you still failed. You lose in a blowout loss to the Thunder like this, and corrections need to be made. But the thing about this Lakers team, bro, is like they can compete. It's like we have the tools. It's just something's not clicking when we play OKC, and I don't quite know if JJ knows or the guys know. It's something that needs to be figured.
And they have the tools to potentially compete, but this is where we can get a deep dive in, is because right from the start, I said this yesterday on the show, is that the two things I'm going to be looking out for is Austin Reeves, as far as how is he going to be able to handle the ball pressure, how is he going to be able to get into the mix, but also my main concern was who is going to be able to guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, knowing that Marcus Smart is going to be out of the lineup, right? That was where I was at. And then what I also was talking about was, okay, I want to see DeAndre Ayton. I want to see how engaged he's going to be. I want to see how active he's going to be. Knowing that – sorry, I'm going to move my MacBook. Knowing that the Thunder got Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren, and DeAndre Ayton only had 8 points and only had 1 rebound, man. And it sucks because we were giving him of all-time praise, which we should have.
Yeah.
But but see, the thing is that they had no chance to recover. The moment you get down by more than 30 points, damn near heading into the second quarter, how can you respond to that, man? Literally.
It's a terrible start. I'm telling you, man. Everything that could have went wrong yesterday. Then to see Luka go down.
And that's another thing that we have to be concerned about because I talk about it. Yes, the end of the season awards and his
I don't
potential.
give a damn about those, D. I don't want to
Exactly.
hear about MVP. We don't care about that right now, bro. I don't want to hear about MVP. The city does not care about him in the MVP race. It will be cool. It will be a nice cherry on top. We need a ring. We need a ring, D.
I hear you. I hear you. The Lakers, we do need a ring. It's been a long time since we've been in that ring conversation. If we're being honest, it's been a long time. But we have to just be honest, John. Is that we came into this season knowing that this roster has flaws. We did.
It does. But to get smacked like that was an old-fashioned ass whooping. To get blown out like that, this is the Lake Show, man. Like,
I get it.
It should mean a little more. Bronny fumbling, struggling to get the ball up the court. Is it the scheme? I mean, I like JJ Redick. I really do. I think he's a great coach. I think he has a great mind for basketball. He played basketball, but something isn't clicking when we play these. Really OKC. It's really OKC. They really have something on us. Is it a mental edge? Is it? I mean, AR starting the game with turnover after turnover after turnover is unexcusable, bro.
But see, that brings that you just said it yourself. AR to start off the game, turnover after turnover after turnover. That's lazy. That's not paying attention to detail. That's not being prepared. Understanding that the Oklahoma City Thunder is going to bring the maximum ball pressure. And let's not act like this is something that is like what that. No, when we went into the playoffs last year, when the Minnesota Timberwolves came in for that first round matchup, the ball pressure got to Austin Reeves. Not saying that Austin Reeves is not a good player. Hell, he's a great player.
Yeah,
there's moments where he was an all-star. But again, we came into the season. The Lakers roster was not constructed fully there. It was not.
That's true.
They got DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton has played well. They got Marcus Smart. I know Marcus Smart was out of lineup, and that was a real big concern. Understanding that as well. But John, this Lakers team, they're still missing a lot of pieces. They are. I know they have the tools to compete, but they're missing the pieces to be a championship team. They don't have enough 3-and-D wing guys. They don't have enough shooters. They don't have guys that can crash the boards consistently. Okay? They don't have guys to actually get back on defense. They don't. You can see the gap between them and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yeah. And hopefully this offseason, going in and looking at this game, not only this game, but looking at the times that they have played OKC, you have to try to find a way to get the necessary tools to compete. You cannot be getting blown out by 30 just like that, in that fashion. They don't have the right guys to be considered championship level team. So again, we always go real quick. We go back to them being potentially beating a first round, beating in the right first round matchup. And I still do believe that they can beat the Houston Rockets. I do too. And in Denver, I think the Lakers shown some tools in that matchup with them this season, but you cannot count out Jokic, and Jamal Murray is always known to put up a heater. But past that first round, we have to be honest with ourselves. Can we really see this team making the Western Conference Finals? They don't have enough pieces to get to that next level.
So, this is Lakers Talk Daily. DeAndre Hawkins, John Martin, ESPN LA. D, you're a very hopeful, uplifting man. You always come into this place with a smile. What message? What are you telling Laker fans after a loss like this? How can we kind of galvanize the people? What are you saying? Because right now, bro, I'm not feeling hopeful.
I think now with the understanding that Luka Doncic is going to be out the lineup as well, and knowing that Luka Doncic might miss some extended time, depending on what the MRI results are, that is a real concern. That is a real concern because if he's going to be out the lineup and if he's going to be out for a first round matchup, it's going to be tough to see them actually getting out of that first round matchup now, for being genuinely honest. Yeah. I have to be honest with that. The only hope I could say is that hopefully they can figure it out and hopefully they can get healthy. Get healthy, because now they're starting to get injured at the wrong time. They are. The worst time to possibly get guys out of the lineup. Marcus Smart being out the lineup. Now with Luka Doncic being out the lineup. That is the worst time for literally your main superstar being out the lineup, but also your main defensive anchor. The only hope I can really say is that guys from the rotation figure out a way to contribute. LeBron James, now with Luka Doncic being out the lineup, no more being that third usage player. They're going to have to try to figure out a way to try to get LeBron James to be LeBron James at the age of 41. Austin Reeves is going to have to figure out, okay, how can I be Austin Reeves, that max contract player that I'm so desperately seeking to get in this offseason? That is the only hope that right now, with the understanding of Luka Doncic being out the lineup, possibly for a couple weeks. And it sucks. It really, really does suck, because we really, really came in with that mindset like, oh, this is exciting. I literally, John, I can't make it up. I woke up and I was like, yesterday I woke up, I'm like, man, I'm excited. Lakers 15-2. They're playing really good basketball. This team has a lot of chemistry. They're laughing, they're smiling, they're playing with each other. I mean, together. Let me word that the right way. They're playing together the right way. And then you can see JJ Redick making the necessary adjustments, the right tweaks, the right lineups, all these different types of things that were really, really positive. And it took one game to really be like, oh, damn, that happened really, really quick.
D, my final comments before you throw it back to you. How quickly you can, build up such a great buzz, a great feel. This Lakers team really had us going for a moment, had some good wins. You beat the Magic. You had a close one against the Pistons, but, you strung together a series of wins and you created a feeling. Because let me tell you something, in the city of LA, I'm from here, born and raised, man. When the Dodgers are doing good, it's good. It's great. It is great. The Dodgers are doing good. And I'm no slight to any Dodgers fans, but when the Lakers are doing good, it's different. And I love the Dodgers. We know how the Dodgers are. When the Lakers are doing good, it's different. And there was a moment where we felt that for a moment, but we'll have to see what happens. D, I'm throwing it to you. Thank you for having me on, brother.
John, very, very appreciative of you always coming on Lakers Talk Daily. Man, Lakers lost to Oklahoma City Thunder 139-96. Luka Doncic will be out the lineup. Hopefully we get some good and positive results with this MRI that is scheduled when the Lakers are out there in Dallas. See how they can bounce back from a blowout loss like that, and see if they can bounce back the right way against a Dallas Mavericks team. And then guess what? They got the Oklahoma City Thunder right back on Tuesday, and see how can they respond to that game. But you know what? Let's just take one game at a time. Loss happened. I know the Lakers went out a way that they weren't hoping and expecting to, but let's just see if they can just find ways to build off of this and get better. But for myself, and by the way, John, you mentioned the Dodgers. Going to throw this out there. The Dodgers are up 10-4 right now against the Nationals. They are out there whooping. Whew. But for myself and you guys in the YouTube chat, very, very grateful for you guys tuning in. As always, I will be talking to you guys next week. Oh, by the way, before we end this episode, you can catch me this Sunday. That's right. You can catch me this Sunday. I will be on Locked On Lakers with Brian Kamenetsky. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout that we're going to be live immediately after the Dallas Mavericks game this Sunday. So be on the lookout for that. I will be on Locked On Lakers, everyone. But for myself, you guys in the YouTube chat, and my guy John running this whole operation, I will be talking to you guys next week. We out.